welcome to the Barney Bear Club. Here's Barney, he's waving already. He's excited again about the second chapter of the story, aren't you? Wave to all the boys and girls. Are you going to wave to all the bears as well? Hello to all the bears and the boys and girls. Right, Barney, have you brought your Barney bag with you today? Shall I get it for you? Oh, I can see something in this Barney bag. It doesn't quite fit in, does it? Let's get that out. There we are. This is Barney's special red ruler, boys and girls. He likes to measure things. You want to measure the picture? Measure the picture. Oh, I think that is 29.5 centimetres. Right, now let's get back to the story. We'll use this today as a pointing stick, shall we? Your red ruler. There we are. Right. Now, Barney and boys and girls, do you remember what happened at the end of the last chapter of the story of Joseph? Joseph was sold as a slave, yes. Now do we know what a slave is? It's somebody who has a master, yes. And the master tells them what to do, yes. They're not allowed to do what they want to. They have to obey the master and do what he says, don't they? Now, so Joseph became a slave to a man called Potiphar. And Potiphar, can you see the picture? There he is, look, serving Potiphar. Potiphar was a very high up man in Egypt. And Potiphar liked Joseph very much, and he made him the leader of the household. So that was an important job, wasn't it? Yeah, you see him there. Now, so Joseph was happy with Potiphar, and he did his best for him. But Potiphar had a wife. Can you see her in the picture? Let's point to her. That's it. There she is, sneaking a look into the room. Now, Potiphar had a wife, and she told lies about Joseph. Do you know what lies are? Things that aren't true, yes. And she said things about Joseph that weren't true, and Potiphar got very angry and he believed her. So something terrible happened to Joseph then, and he was put into prison. And here he is, look, just turn this picture around. And he doesn't look very happy there, does he? No. And he was put in prison. But the leader of the prison there, the man in charge, he liked Joseph as well. And before long, Joseph was in charge of all the prisoners in the prison. So that's a good thing that happened to him while he was in prison. Now, while Joseph was in prison, he met two other prisoners. Now, can you point to the prisoner in green, Barney? And he was a cupbearer for Pharaoh. That's the king of Egypt. But he'd done something wrong and he was in prison. And the other person that Joseph met was a baker. He's the man in brown. Right, and both these men had dreams. Now we know Joseph had dreams and could tell what they meant. That's called interpreting dreams, if you can say what a dream means, Barney. Now, and the first man, the cupbearer, he said to Joseph, I've had a dream. And Joseph said, well, God can help me tell you what the dream means. So he told Joseph, and he said, I had a dream and I saw 3 bunches of grapes. And I picked the grapes and I squeezed them into Pharaoh's cup. Because that was his job, you see. He served King Pharaoh with his drinks in his special cup before he was put in prison. And so Joseph said, this is what the dream means. In 3 days' time you're going to be released and you're going to go back and you're going to be Pharaoh's cupbearer again. And so he was happy, yes. That was a good dream, wasn't it, Barney? So then the baker turned to Joseph and he said, well, I've had a dream as well, and I saw 3 baskets of bread on top of my head, and birds were coming along and they were eating the bread in the baskets. Oh. And so Joseph looked a little bit downcast then, and he said, well, this is an unhappy dream. He said, I'm sorry to tell you that in 3 days' time that you're going to be killed. So, oh, the baker was very sad. But now Joseph said to the cupbearer, when you go back and work for Pharaoh, he said, please remember me and mention the fact that I'm in prison and I'm innocent. Right, so everything happened as Joseph said, and one of the men lived and one of the men died. And the cupbearer was so happy to go back and work for Pharaoh, but the sad thing was he forgot all about Joseph. Oh, dear me. Now, on to the last picture. Now, one day Pharaoh had some dreams. Now, and the cupbearer, who was serving Pharaoh at the time, he remembered Joseph, yes. And he said, and quite a time had gone past since the cupbearer had come out of prison. And he said, I know somebody who can interpret dreams, Pharaoh, and his name is Joseph, and I met him in prison. So Pharaoh said, well, send for Joseph. So they did. And Pharaoh told Joseph his dreams. Now, let's see if we can put these up here. The first dream was a dream where there were 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows. Can we count the 7 ones, Barney? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fat cows, and there were 7 skinny ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now the 7 skinny cows ate up the 7 fat cows. That's an unusual dream, isn't it? Now the second dream, there were 7 straggly corn stalks and 7 strong corn stalks. Can you see all the stalks, Barney? 7 of each. And now the 7 straggly ones ate up the 7 strong ones. That's unusual, isn't it? And Pharaoh just didn't know what the dream meant, but Joseph did, because God helped him know what the dream meant. And he said, well, Pharaoh, the dream means the same thing in both cases, he said. The 7 fat cows are 7 good years of harvest, and so are the 7 strong corn stalks, and the 7 skinny cows and the 7 straggly corn stalks are 7 bad years of famine. Now, you know what famine is, Barney? You think it's when there's no food? That's right, well done. And so, the thing that you need to do, Joseph said, is you need to prepare from the good times, the 7 good years. You need to prepare for when the 7 years of famine are coming, and you need to get somebody to be the governor and sort out all the food for the country. And Pharaoh had an idea who he was going to put in charge. But we will find that out in the next chapter. Did you enjoy that story, Barney? Did you enjoy that story, boys and girls? I will see you again next time for the 3rd and final chapter of Joseph. Is it going to be a happy ending? Yes, it is. You want to wave goodbye to everybody, Barney? Bye, boys and girls. See you next time for the final chapter of Joseph. His name is Barney, Barney.